One. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Akuban Nights. Everyone's always ready for this. How are you all doing today? Sorry, Fuzzy, for cutting you off.
Why are you even doing a countdown?
Because I wasn't paying attention, and I saw the screen, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's over! We gotta go." I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut off your deeply interesting conversation.
I was just talking about peeing in policemen's helmets. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Akuban Nights. Sorry about the awkward intro. It's just a regular day. Nothing special's happened anytime soon. So, have you guys done anything in the last week that you'd like to share with us?
I wasted a lot of time on a video game.
I wouldn't say wasted. I mean,
invested.
Okay, I used the majority of the time on the video game. The rest of it was wasted because it was basically waiting for the server to catch up with my.
I'm sorry that the server's being weird. We've set it to restart twice a day. Hopefully that will make a bit of difference.
It's fine. It's the experimental branch. I'm playing 7 Days to Die. There's a new patch out that came out on Monday, and it's fabulous. It's fabulous.
Yeah. It's a good game to waste your time in, I guess. That's it's really fun.
The meta has changed and I'm loving it. It's like exploration is much more fun now. There's quests.
Oh, yes.
You can't just turtle up in your base. You've got to go out and do stuff.
Wonderful. And the rest of you who haven't been playing 7 Days to Die?
I've been playing 7 Days to Die and I went to a gig last night, which was really good. And also I today I played I had a look at Unavowed, which is like a point and click adventure with magic. Kind of, was it Monkey Island with demons, somebody said.
Ooh.
That sounds amazing.
I like it.
Yeah, that sounds actually pretty sweet. Wonderful. Sven?
Yes. I had a very boring week. I was I was just busy doing my stuff for my exams, but other than that, it's nothing interesting going on. Finished the campaign with Vivi Dimension and Elderon, which we played. And that's on hiatus now for, I guess, 2-3 months. But it was cool. We ended up level 11. So it's going to higher levels now. It's cool.
Cool. And Anna-Sophie?
Yeah, I had a super busy week. Today off, which was good. I'm very grateful for that. But yesterday was an absolute horrible day at work. Like, dreadful. When you have a really hard day and then, I had a customer come in who was really annoyed and they were a huge pain in the ass. And I rushed everything. I was trying to be super friendly. I go to the photocopier, I lean forward, and my pants just tear in half. That's what happened. So I'm like there, I have nobody to help, and my pants have a giant rip in them. So I just grabbed the next jumper and just put it around my waist. And just keep serving this customer afterwards. I was close to crying. Yesterday was really rough. I went home and I was like, I never want to have a day like this ever again. And then I had this old dude who actually commented on it. It was like two hours later or something. He was like, why do you have your jumper around the waist like that? And I was like, well, nothing, I was just, it's warm in here. And, yeah, so.
Oh my.
Because my pants tore and I don't want to get done for indecent exposure. Do you have a problem?
So, yeah, that was rough, but I'm still here. That's good.
Well, I don't think anyone can top that, so let's hop into game here. Where did we leave off? Where are you all?
We are in a library. We are in a different city.
What is that city's name?
Tal Ushar, I believe, unless I'm spelling it right.
Yes, it's Tower.
Ooh, I got it right this time.
The city with the griffin aviary on top of a tower and high walls to keep out a fantastical beast.
Yes. These are all correct things.
And the there is a librarian who was entrusted with the king's will, and we were trying to find this librarian. His name was Will, I think. No, what was his name? Oh,
Ronnie.
Will was not the name, but Ronnie, right? His name was Ronnie, and unfortunately, he was found dead.
Oh my god. Dead? Dead,
Yeah.
you
There's
say?
assassins everywhere.
And apparently another librarian had overheard that there had been a huge, like a fight or something, like a discussion or arguing going on earlier between two men. And well, afterwards, Ronnie had been found dead, and we had searched the other rooms and have actually found the will in the end, and we're about to open it. I think we shoot everybody outside and are just standing in an office or something.
All right. So here you are in that upper floor that the other librarian led you to. The four of you plus Yassi have come in here and found the will. It is before you in Sammy's hands.
So Sammy is laying it down on the table. He has just taken off the seal. We can confirm because Bud still has the one.
Yes, I still have the original seal.
It reads, "Children, if you are reading this, I am dead.
Very smooth.
I have lived a long life, and I'm happy to be reunited with my true love and children. It is not that I do not love you five. I do. But there is nothing like your first love or your firstborn. You will understand when you are older." And Sammy's just like stopping right now, and he's like,
5?
"There's a fifth child?"
Or he can't count.
I'll keep reading.
Yes, keep
Maybe
reading.
more. Should the state of affairs upon my death resemble those during the time of this writing, then the continent is on the precipice of all-out war. If you have any goodness in your hearts, you will prepare our people for war, whether they like it or not. My greatest concern is for Scoria the Red. If we are not careful, she will one day soon rule all of Arcadia. The first order of business, should you care at all for our people or the freedom of all Arcadians, is to arm yourself with the weapons you will need. Ronnie should have a list prepared for you of heroes and ancestors that were buried with magic items.
Ooh.
Magic weapons, tools, potions, books, scrolls, and other such things. With these tools at your disposal, I am sure you will find the path that makes the world safer. When in doubt, search the tombs of fallen heroes or our direct ancestors. I buried my brother here in Talashar with his shield and sword. I pray they will be of use to you. I know I have been a less than perfect father, that I never really tried with any of you. For that, I am sorry. But being king is hard, and losing those you love is harder. I ask for understanding, and not for forgiveness. Last but not least, let no any harm come to Yassi. I worry the other noble families will seek to harm her once I am gone. Signed, King Karazium of Akuba.
Do you think
Wait, is
Yassi is the fifth child?
I think yes, is she here with us?
She's here with you.
I cross my arms and I look over to her.
5.
So, do I have another brother or another sister?
Pretty sure it's another sister.
Hmm.
Does she look remotely like us?
No. Definitely
She's
not.
a lot older though.
And she's much older.
Yassi, do you know anything about the fifth sibling? You do. Tell us.
I have worked for your father for a long time, and I have seen him in many a situation we probably would rather not discuss together. but I don't know anything specifically about another sibling.
Really? What are the non-specific things then, you know?
I, at various points in time, have acquired concubines and lovers for your father, she says, starting to stammer and fluster a little bit. Is this really a conversation you want to have?
Yes, it is.
No problem.
Very well. Your father was a man of great appetites and had many, many lovers over his lifetime that I'm aware of.
Good for him.
Yes.
It's just like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There are many possible mothers for a potential child. And I don't know who... There's too many to have tracked.
But there's one specific one he obviously valued above the others.
If he did, I'm not sure why he didn't bring them into the fold. After all, you're here, a lady.
Maybe a spare?
Like a spare wagon wheel. Just keep it in the back in case one of the other children kicks it.
Makes sense.
How old is Yassi, approximately?
Did we say 45? Something like that?
I think it was. It's on her sheet. It's about 50.
Yeah.
53.
53.
Quite interesting.
I mean, everybody in the Straggler knew that he was a bit of a goer, but not that many spare children.
Well, he chose not to hide this fifth child from us in his will because, I don't know, surely someone must know of him. Someone close. Him or her. I apologize.
Perhaps, but maybe it was a slip of the pen.
Could also be that the mother told him that he has a child, but she never wanted anything to do with the royal house. Maybe.
Ooh, a cuckoo in somebody else's nest. Interesting.
But it was written in a way that, you know, he seemed to expect 5 people here.
Exactly. Whoever was supposed to gather us together to read this will should have more knowledge on who was to read it.
Would that be the librarian?
I sadly would imagine so.
And who killed the librarian anyway?
Well, we have locked down the library. If they are still inside, we should be able to find them.
Oh, actually, can I have a look at the will? I'm just going to have a look at the will and see if I can figure out if there's been any kind of tampering with it, if it's suspiciously fresh ink, that kind of thing. And I also need to find my character sheet with
I am going to just PM you a copy of the will in case you want to reread it in text for any reason.
I'll put it
why
in
don't
the-
you... Let's see, you're looking
notes.
over the will. Why don't you give me a forgery check to see if you can detect any forgery upon it.
let me just find my actual character sheet because it's on my PC rather than on the thing. And I can never remember where I put it. It's in here somewhere. Hang on.
Oh my god. Why we print out our character sheets and track with pen and paper like the olden days, back before electricity.
I'm pretty sure we still had electricity back when D&D came out.
Not in the 70s. It was a dark age.
Ah, there we go.
Very dark.
Okay, so a forgery check. So that would be That's a 10. So what do I roll for
D20
that?
plus 10.
Right.
Ooh, it's a pass. Yeah, you look over this, and the ink seems pretty old and dry. The paper's a little cracked here or there. You feel fairly certain that if this is a forgery, it's a fantastic fucking job.
Okay. Right. Yes, this looks, as far as I can tell, genuine. Yep. That's old ink. If it was forged so long ago and so seamlessly that we'd never find out.
Considering the testament is talking about the fifth child, and we don't know if this child is older than me or not, I don't think that the noble houses should get any hold of the testament.
Is it dated? Is there a date on it?
There is not.
Yes.
It doesn't date a will. Honestly, we don't know when it was written.
Yassi, when was this written? You knew of this
3 years ago. I came with him here to write it, although I was not present for the writing.
I see. Was anyone present?
Ronnie, the librarian. The two of them went into seclusion to write it and came out a few hours later.
So there was only one witness to the writing of the will, and he's dead.
Yes. I suppose it looks odd when you put it that way.
Very odd, yes.
I mean, it must have been someone who has known from about the will. And I don't know with how many people our father has shared this information.
Indeed. Well, well, there's
So
nothing.
is it safe to assume it was one of the noble houses? And not some outside influence?
Could be noble houses, could be outside influences, could be other nations trying to destabilize us. It could be the mysterious fifth child trying to, I don't know. A fifth child. We don't know who it is. We don't know where they are. They could have any motive. They could want to seize power for themselves, perhaps.
I mean, if this librarian keeps secrets for important people, he might have also kept other secrets, you know. I mean, it might just be really unlucky timing as well that he died today.
It's a very strange coincidence.
Very strange coincidence, yes. And what's this about tomb robbing? We have to go stealing from tombs now.
It is our family tomb. It is surely not stealing.
What are the chances of angry spirits? Neal's just...
In our family, it's very likely. I'm sure if they were at least... If we could communicate with them properly, they would understand our motives. But if they had festered in the tomb for many years and turned mad over time, then we may be facing our ancestors down there.
You are coming to very fast conclusions here. If I see a tomb, I don't think about ghosts. I just see a tomb, nothing else.
How delightful for you, brother.
I am merely outlining the possibilities. It's what I'm used to.
Better to be prepared.
Whatever we do, I would like to rest before we do anything foolish.
Indeed, yes.
This beast has left me with some severe wounds that need to heal.
Indeed, I'm feeling rather ropey myself.
Before we leave the library,
We should
the will
investigate.
makes note of a list that the librarian Ronnie would have prepared.
We should find that as well then, yes.
It must be in at least a similar place to where we found the will.
I'm going to start just like tossing the library and just sort of like searching the guy's room and just under mattresses, etc., etc.
Perhaps we
Absolutely.
can find any other notes of...
Just basically looking, sort of like just going through documents, looking for anything of interest and searching all the hidden, sort of like just being like, if I was a weird librarian, where would I hide something?
Considering I have local history, would this help me in the search for past heroes' graves and stuff like that?
What do you mean?
I mean, I have the proficiency in local history.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't that help me? That's a question. Does that help me in any shape or form? Maybe going through the library and stuff, and as I have a general knowledge about our land, to make it easier to find clues about past heroes. So I don't know if the...
Definitely, because you have a pretty good working knowledge of the former heroes of Akuba. So yeah, you would know where some of these tombs are, and if you look them up, you'd be able to identify, like if you found a list of names in a graveyard, you'd be able to identify major heroes and ancestors there, no problem.
Cool. Considering that, what about starting with our father's brother? What is there to know about him, about his life and past deeds?
He was your father's older brother who died when your father was still young and when the previous ruler was still in power. Your father buried him, took over shortly thereafter because, other person power died pretty quickly. And that was maybe 70 years ago? Maybe
God.
80? Yeah, it's
That's
a long time. It's a long time.
So as this is all going on, Sammy's been pacing around the room and he's just raising his head for a moment. It's come to my attention. Perhaps the fifth child is one we already know about. I'm merely, again, all possibilities, but do any of you know if we can confirm the previous children had all passed away?
Well, let's talk about your father's other children that all died before you were born. How many were there?
That should be something you would know, Neal.
Don't you guys know this? Didn't we share this information already?
Unaware.
Bud?
No, I don't think so. But reading the testament again, it doesn't sound like it's one of his original children, because he states, "I have lived a long life, and I'm happy to be reunited with my true love and children. It is not that I do not love you five. I do, but there is nothing like your first love or your firstborn." That clearly indicates that it's, well, for me, that it's a child after his first love.
Firstborn's only the firstborn, though.
Yeah.
Like if there were three brothers or something, the firstborn died there still too.
But yeah, he says reunited with true love and children.
Mm-hmm.
So one would assume all children. But it's conjecture.
Asking for a friend, is our mother still alive? We said yes,
No.
but we didn't visit her last time.
Did you say asking for a friend?
Yeah.
My mum's alive. She's just also a truly awful human being.
Our mother's dead, I believe.
Yes, your mother is dead.
Right.
He doesn't have a good track record with keeping, wives alive and things, does he?
No.
He's pretty old. I mean,
Yeah.
It's kind of our fault for making him that way.
That's true. You did decide that, that he would have had multiple families and that his older siblings' children were already dead and that he had a whole bunch of concubines. You did sort of make him out to be this pervy sex king.
I mean, concubines is one thing, but pervy sex king is another.
Yeah, I think the pervy sex king thing was your idea, Neal. Okay, own your pervy sex king.
Is that a theme with Akuban rulers? Just so I know what role I have to assume once I...
No, it is not a mandatory requirement to rule the country.
Okay.
One of the reasons why they don't
But
like
it helps.
Well,
You
as
don't have to be
happy
a
I would,
sex king to work here, but it helps.
as happy as I would be to find our sibling, I don't know if this is of the highest priority. We should keep that in mind, and if we find clues, we can follow them, but we should focus on the things at hand. I mean, Father gave us some good pointers to look at, and considering we were attacked in the Teltamora's woods by kobolds and by some strange beasts, we might also talk to the nobles of Talushar if there are other issues they have, because traveling through the woods seems very dangerous for our people.
Well, as you know, I treat you all as equal siblings. You included, Maya. Even though we are not full siblings, you are part of the family. And even if I've just learned of this new sibling's existence, it is almost a priority for myself, perhaps not for you others, that I find him or her and at least invite them into the family, and perhaps they don't even know their father was the king. They have a right to know.
Did the king keep something like a diary, Yassi?
She shakes her head. No. He, well, he had a book. He would occasionally open it, stare off into the distance out a window, and tap his pen on the page, but I never actually saw him write anything down. He always wanted to, but her father was, an indecisive man. I don't think he ever put words to thoughts.
Shame, because I imagine it'd be like Samuel Pepys' diary. You ever read that? It's basically the diary of Samuel Pepys, and there's a lot of like sort of like, oh yes, banged a hot chick today.
That's
What? So it's basically accounts of the Great Fire of London and the plague, and then and I banged sort of banged 2 chicks today, and
A great night in Talushar. 4 out of 5 Akuban stars.
Well, what do you guys want to do? You have a lot of options that your father asked you to follow up on, but he's dead, and you're not beholden to him, so you are not obligated to do anything. The world is your oyster at the moment.
I do feel like having some magical weapons would be a good idea.
That does seem like something that would allow us to travel lighter and safer.
As much as I doubted his sanity at some points, in the testament, he clearly stated Scoria, and I personally 100% agree with him that this large, this gargantuan beast, this red flying fortress, is more than a problem for us, for Akuba and the rest of the world. And if there are weapons that can protect us and can hurt it, why not get them instead of letting them rot away in some tomb? But I don't know much about clerics or the disturbance of the dead. Maybe Sarah, you know something about the problems we might face.
I think it depends on the tomb as well, and on the person that was buried there. You know, if you wish to never be disturbed whatsoever, and for your tomb to be forever sealed, then obviously you wouldn't like it if somebody walked in there and plundered it. While other people might be buried with their weapons to keep them safe for their families in times of need, you know?
Personally, if I was to build a tomb, I'd put a lot of traps in there.
I have no doubt you would.
This is all assuming that someone else
Was that
hasn't.
sarcasm, sister?
No, it was the absolute truth.
This is all assuming that someone else hasn't defiled our family's tomb already. And
That is a good point.
it's common knowledge that there have been adventurers go around and plunder the tombs of high-ranking officials, especially for their magically infused items.
So, what about we try to find the list that Ronnie seems to have prepared? Maybe it is still here. And then go from there. Maybe rest for a couple of days, and take a look at our brothers, our father's brother's tomb first. Uncle. Yes, and that's it.
Excellent. Cue the Benny Hill ransacking music as you guys tear the place apart looking for that will.
We're not tearing
that
it
list.
apart, okay? Maybe some people are tearing it apart, but I'm like putting the books back into the shelves, you know, keeping the documents on, and I'm like, I'm not trying to make a mess here, you know. I'm nice about this.
Yeah.
Maya's like, book? Okay, will, nothing in here, fucking throw it.
Yeah, no, just getting a knife, like cutting open
And
the
I'm just-
mattress, going through it.
I'm in the back catching the books she throws away, you know.
And like
Catching
very
some,
carefully
dodging
stacking
others.
them.
I'm doing all the kind of, I'm just like sort of like turning the drawers upside down, checking for hidden panels, and you know, just that kind of thing.
All right, Maya, why don't you give me a perception check at advantage, since you are making no attempt to keep this place in order. You are literally ransacking, which is fantastic.
All right, so that's
2d20 D1 plus
2d20 d1, and then plus it's perception, isn't it? So that's plus 60.
yes. Wonderful. You find no list and nothing else of interest.
No valuables or anything.
Hold on, Neil. Is there
Fucking
one
library?
second.
No. I mean,
Not even a naughty
knowledge is the true value here.
Right.
That's what we're looking
Neil,
for.
Is there perchance the book called Rising Smoke: The Comprehensive Guide to Akuban Native Incenses?
Is that on his list?
It's on the list.
That's on the spellbook list? Then yes, it's absolutely
Yes,
here.
I got it. I'm taking it. Obviously, I like incense, so you know that piques my interest. Was I catch it? I look at it. I'm like, ooh, and then the other book just flies past because I can't catch the next one.
Nice.
Or
Where did you... What
Dude,
book-
it was. I had to look at the wiki entry for magical books, and book number 87 was like about Akuban, and then there was another one, and I found the incense book is number 161.
Yes,
So-
Rising Smoke, the comprehensive guide to
And I thought
Akuban.
incense cleric. I wonder if I'm ever gonna find that book. So there we go.
For those of
Writing
you
it down.
watching, a few years ago, we made a list of spell books and other sort of like random books. I'm going to post it in Twitch chat. Sorry, people on YouTube, you're screwed. You can find it somewhere. And it's just got a whole bunch of random books that you can find and spell books. And yeah, there's some good names in here. Some really good names in here. Oh, wow, that was a fun stream. We should do that again. Sorry, I'm getting tickled by this. Continue. What are you guys doing?
Well, we didn't find anything.
I'm gonna head outside and start asking if anyone has been apprehended trying to leave, or if there's been any suspicious figures.
Sure. You open the door, and outside are 5 guards waiting, plus the captain of the guard, who has arrived and has been patiently waiting outside the door for you guys to finish ransacking this private room. The captain of the guard gives you a salute.
I salute back.
I nod.
And a bow, and she says, I am so sorry, my lords and ladies. I didn't know you had arrived. I've just been informed that you came through the gates. Was your visitation not announced ahead of time?
This was a matter of urgency.
I see. Well, I sincerely apologize for the state of the woods. We have been doing our best to rid it of those kobolds. No doubt you saw the crucified kobolds along the way?
We did.
It seemed merely to make them angry.
Our intent was to spike them anywhere a kobold attack had occurred in an attempt to ward them off. Clearly, the efforts have not worked, and we will redouble. I will immediately send a group of people out to hunt down the kobolds.
Hold on, just one question. For how long have these kobold attacks been going on?
Very long time. For centuries, kobolds have lived in these woods. They've always been a bit of a nuisance. This happens to be a particularly nuisancey period of time. Nuiscescent period of time. Frustrating.
Is it
But the
weird that
goblins
they
you
are
have under
more...
control, right?
Yes, the goblins are mildly friendly.
But isn't it weird that these kobolds are so aggressive and even more aggressive at the moment?
I don't think it is out of character for the filthy beasts.
This is just a wild question out the dark, Captain. But have you seen any dragons fly overhead?
No.
Not in the last 3 years?
No. Should
Very
I
well.
be concerned about dragons?
It was just a thought I had. It doesn't matter. Wild theories.
Well, we were attacked by about 24 kobolds at the riverbed. But we managed to drive them away and kill them all. What was more discerning was this other beast we encountered. Some strange creature like a panther with tentacles. It was
Ooh,
a formidable opponent.
displacer beasts.
Indeed.
Indeed.
If that is their name, yes.
I told you their name, bud.
You never pay attention, brother.
Sometimes I do. I'm very sorry to that we arrive here and that a good friend of our family has died by the hands of an assassin. This
If it was possible, I think it would be good if we could express our condolences to the librarian's family.
Of course. I shall seek them out immediately.
I shall also need the aid of a cleric. I am quite badly injured.
Of course. The guard takes a quick glance at Sarah, and then after
I
a
try to
half-second
bear the
pause,
shame that burns on my face, and I will ask him if I can accompany him to the librarian's wife, husband.
I don't know this particular librarian myself, but I will find out all the information
Inquire.
about them.
Right, and I
Yes.
would like to go there in person if that's possible.
Of course. They sign. The captain assigns the 5 guards to stick with the 3 other family members, while she will lead Anna-Sophie along while they investigate this guy's family and backstory and everything.
Before you go, has anyone been apprehended in the library?
Not today.
No, I mean since the since we have arrived.
No.
I asked the guards to check all the exits and make sure no one leave.
Yes. We have stopped the exit of all the people. There's a small line gathering downstairs. And we've also prevented anyone else from entering the library to keep the population in check here.
Indeed, we should go and check out who's trying to leave so far.
Yes, I shall order all of my guards to search everyone in the library looking for weapons, particularly bloody ones.
Also,
Yes.
check their fingernails, hands, etc., clothes for spots of blood.
I'm sure they know, Maya.
I like to be sure.
While you go and do all that, I'd like to rest and maybe take a drink or two and just relax. This fight against the Displacer Beast was really took a lot out of me.
Of course.
I'll join you, brother.
Maya's just there, like, barely holding on to life, just looking at you like,
Man, did I have a rough day? Maya's just like,
The
of course,
five.
brother, rest.
I have 4 out of 20 hit points. It's not like I'm really doing well, so
I'm on 1 hit point.
wait, didn't we heal some of your wounds though? Darius, didn't you have like
Hers were 4 HP wounds, just
Oh, yeah.
outside
Yeah, I know.
of the realm
but,
of your
but
healing.
Bud's, I'm talking about Bud's wounds.
yes, I have a 7-point wound and a 9-point wound, which we couldn't heal, so
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Didn't you get crit?
thank you very much. Take a couple of days off, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys can go to a place where there will be 7 and 9. Yeah, but you're gonna need to rest for a little while. The highest level cleric here, it can only restore wounds of 6 or less. So
I'm fine then.
Maya's gonna be okay. Sammy's gonna be okay. And you guys are going to need to wait long enough for Bud to heal 3 HP naturally, which is going to be 6 days. Because you'll have a healer around, so you'll heal 2 HP every 3 days.
Okay.
This wound system is rough.
It is going to be rough. It's going to slow down the game a little bit, which is perfect. Which is exactly what we need. We want the little bit of time between encounters and HP to be a resource that you must carefully use.
Conserve.
What can I do
full bad,
while
right?
recovering hit points?
Whatever, as long as it's, relaxing and chill.
Okay.
No fighting.
Investigating.
Yeah. If you want to walk around and don't strain yourself,
Don't break out into a sprint.
Right, don't sprint, don't go sparring.
Don't be bad cop. Let
Don't
somebody
swim
else be
after
bad
dark.
cop.
No hard
There goes
swimming.
the
You can do
best.
some elderly walking around in the pool, but no
The
water
gentle
polo.
breaststroke. No hard breaststroke, just gentle breaststroke.
Fine.
And no swimming either.
So, let's take this in turns. The 3 non-clerics in the party are all going to go rest and relax and chill.
Yes.
3 known clerics.
There are
3
3
non-
non-clerics.
Ah,
Yes.
right. Okay.
Where class does not equal cleric. You guys are going to go rest. Anna-Sophie, you're going to go off with the captain of the guard and go investigate the librarian's family, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's do a quick check here. Yeah, the records in the library are fantastic. The librarian, Ronnie, has no wife, but has some children. Wife kicked it a while back. So he has 2 sons, both of which are in their 30s and live here in town. One of them is a librarian.
Excellent. I guess I'll go to the one who's also a librarian first.
Fantastic. You find the librarian in his personal room, heartbroken and, tear-stained cheeks, but holding his shit together Like a true man, he hides all of his emotions and buries them deep, deep inside.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Right.
Mhm.
So I guess I carefully approach and I say, I'm sorry for intruding on you here in this moment.
Princess, it is an honor to be graced with your presence.
I said, please. I'm also a cleric of Martha. And I put a hand on his shoulder, and I say, your father was a very, very brave man.
Was he?
He was.
I
mean,
never thought of a paper pusher as a brave man.
well, I think outside people often think of them as paper pushers, but they have really important roles to fulfill in our society, and sometimes they have to take great risks, and I think your father did.
Thank you.
Do you know by chance if your father had any place where he would stow away really important documents, things he couldn't keep at work, things that were, I don't know, special to him?
His work was his life. His books were the most important things to him. I can't imagine him having any secrets at all. He was a simple man who liked the smell of old books, and his hands were perpetually covered in ink, and carried a whole bag of punts at his side.
Did we see that bag?
No, you didn't.
Was he always carrying that bag with him, you said?
Yes, he was writing all the time. He wrote everywhere, and so he carried some with him wherever he went.
Interesting. Where did your father live? Did he have, like, what is his bedroom in the library as well?
Mm-hmm.
Right. What was your father's favorite book, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, he talked about it often. It was one of those. It was a series of books, actually. What were they called? Yes. He was how should I say? As a librarian, he thirsted for knowledge, but as a person, he loved good food, and he always had wished in his heart of hearts that he were a wizard. So his favorite series of books was one on gastromancy.
Right.
The magical art of preparing food. He read them as if he could possibly one day wield the forces of magic, but never was able to. Lifelong
understand that.
desire.
My brother is a wizard. It's quite fascinating to watch him sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if there's anything we can do, I know it sounds like a hollow, offer, but if there's anything we can do, please let us know. Your father did us a great service, and we're really proud that there are still people like him in Akuba.
Thank you. If you could bring his murderer to justice, I would greatly appreciate that.
Well, we will certainly try. The investigation is already going on.
Thank you.
Okay. And I guess I offer to speak a little prayer with him to honor his father in this moment, I guess.
He will pull down a pillow from his bed, go down on his knees, hold your hands, and go through the prayers with you.
Right.
Oh.
Alright. So, the party's gonna rest for about a week, it seems, here in Talushar to heal up to full. Roll.
So when we go back, I know we've so did we go through his office or did we go through his bedroom as well?
Same.
Both of them.
They're the same
Was there
room.
his?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. So he sleeps like behind the thing. Was there the series of his favorite book there, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
gastromancy book?
Mm-hmm.
Right, but there was nothing in them, right? They are entirely empty. Like they're just normal books.
Right. I mean, I don't know if they're normal. They're books on gastromancy. Book
Yeah,
1 is called Spicing Up Your Soup. Book 2 is Flavors of the Arcane. Book
Nice.
3 is called Summon Your Meat. And book 4 is called Charming the Stomach. It's a great series of
Summon
books.
your meat.
I think I've read that third one.
Is that a dirty book?
No, it's about how to summon the animals that you want to then cook. Guys, it's a summoning book. It's not.
Yeah. It's a conjuration book. Right?
I mean, it doesn't actually have any spells, but it talks about the theories and what animals you can summon, and guys.
And we don't see that satchel lying around anywhere, right? That bag that he carried around.
No, it is missing.
Weird. I will tell the others while they are resting that apparently something was taken from that librarian as well.
Did the guards manage to catch or find whoever it is, or find it? Did the plod find any clues?
They search everybody, like literally search everybody. No signs of assault were found on any of these folks.
So either they had a way of getting away clean, or the guards were inept, or it's somebody who is very good at avoiding being searched. Did any elderly washerwomen leave the place? It's tradition.
By now, everyone has been let go and allowed to walk away. There were a few elderly folk in the library, including at least one washerwoman. Would you
Suspect number one.
Would you like the guards to bring her in for questioning?
If she could be found, no.
She can be found. She's an
No,
employee
then.
here.
Yeah, no.
I
Okay.
imagine whoever did the murdering had already left by the time we got there.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that if anybody, it's like, disguised as an angry elderly washerwoman, not actually an elderly washerwoman.
I see.
Actually,
I'm in deep cover. I've been doing this job for 85 years.
Deep cover as a washerwoman in a library for 85 years. That's not deep cover anymore. That's just a job.
No, because one day she's gonna be like, it's my time. Heart attack. Sleeper agents, man. Yeah. I'm not torturing an old lady. What do you think I am? Yeah. So yeah, I was just gonna sort of probably try and do a bit more research on this tomb.
Sure. The tomb is here in Talashar. It is located in the middle of the city, underground. There are places here for all sorts of nobles to be buried. There are many chambers and passageways, and it's actually kind of broken up into lots of sub-crypts all over the place. You have probably never visited your uncle's grave. You were all long dead. No, he was long dead before any of you were born. Sorry.
I see dead people.
Okay.
okay then.
It's not
Maybe
a-
let's not go into the tomb, but I think
but you know where the tomb entrance is, and you can get a map of the tomb to his particular resting place. So you can go in whenever you want.
Yeah, can we arrange with the guards that we visit?
Yes.
Just have it as like not as a matter of business, just as a matter of paying respect to our family while we're in town.
Yes. The guards will arrange such a thing, and in the process of doing so, they talk to the gravekeeper here, who comes personally to speak to the four of you. There's 4 of you, right? Yes, there's not 5.
Not 5 yet.
Not yet. The gravekeeper is an older gentleman, and he bows deeply when you arrive and says, my dear princes and princesses, here you would like to visit the grave of your uncle?
Yes.
Indeed.
Is there anyone else from our family buried here before we continue?
I believe so, yes. Your aunt is buried here as well. Right
I'm
beside
an
your uncle.
character. But yeah, okay. Sure.
There's a problem, though. When your uncle and aunt were buried, it was insisted that their tomb be properly protected from would-be grave robbers.
Told you so, traps.
As the princess says, yes, it is a trapped tomb, and like all good grave diggers and barriers, we have no record of which traps are where or how to disarm them, or what they could possibly be, or anything like that.
Just lead us as close as you can, and we will pay our respects.
Of course. The captain of the guard speaks up, and she says, if you would like, I could send a detachment of soldiers in there to figure it out the hard way.
Yes, that's
Just
a
a
good
question.
idea. Excellent.
Are we also carrying the tools with which we want to pay respect, like crowbars and bags?
Okay, I imagine we're just like talking about this, and we're not actually doing it yet because we still need to heal up
Right.
for the week.
I think this is over this conversation is happening sometime during that week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maya's just like, absolutely, yes.
I shall handpick the 8 bravest guards we have here and send them in. And they shall return. What is it that you would like from the crypt?
Oh no, well, if we just clear it out and we'll go in there ourselves and retrieve the
Of course.
Pay our respects.
pay our respects, yes.
So far, there is no plan to retrieve anything, and I don't want your guards to get hurt only because of us. There's no reason for that.
If I may,
But it's
I'd
dangerous,
rather-
my lord. You could get
Exactly.
hurt in there.
Exactly.
If I get
If I may-
hurt, I get hurt, and I will hopefully survive. But I can't rely on everyone else to do anything for me. How will I ever have the respect of our people if I only order people around? I need to lead by example.
My lord, I must protest. You are heir to the throne. You cannot be off exploring dangerous crypts on your own. What if you get hurt? You could die.
I understand. That's why we only want to see the crypt first. We're not going in. Just
Brother,
see it.
brother, if I may, a good king knows when to delegate.
Yes. And I whisper a kind of, and that's why you're going in first.
Get her!
she does have some traps, right?
That is not a skill anymore. No.
Oh, deep boy, Neal.
I will remember this, brother. Certainly, I would be pleased to lead the
Is it
way.
a milestone we just achieved? Maya will remember this encounter.
Yeah, basically like. Ooh. Bud's gone soft focus.
All right. So you guys rest up for a week. The day after you have this conversation, actually, the captain of the guard comes back to you with a few people carrying a body on a stretcher covered with a blanket. They come into whatever parlor you're all associating in and lay the stretcher down, remove the blanket. There is a person there, a woman, young woman, and the captain of the guard says, we were exploring the entrance to the crypt, not going in, my lord, but we saw in the first passageway this body. It's fairly fresh. you'll notice the body has the head detached from the shoulders, with a fairly clean cut.
Oh, good.
This seems unfortunate. What kind of clothes is she wearing? Is it a Kuban clothes or Drakisian?
No, it's a Kuban servant's clothing. She's
I'm gonna
dressed
go
as
through
like
her
just like a regular servant who would be doing stuff. You go through her pockets, and you pull out a stiletto from one of the pockets in there, and some golden coins, and
how many?
12. But that's about it.
I will pocket the golden coins and sort of like look at the stiletto and go, I don't think she was a servant. Do you?
They shake their heads.
No.
We also found a torch near her body, burned out.
It may have been that she was not alone. For the matter of this foreseeable future, may we have some guards posted near the crypt to observe the comings and goings. Perhaps a ways away. If there are people wanting to come into this crypt, I would, for whatever reason, I wish to know of their existence and not to just discern them from attempting.
Of course, I shall put an undercover officer outside the crypt immediately.
Thank you.
Beside the body, did you see if anyone has disturbed the resting place of my uncle?
I don't think they had a chance. Unless there was more than one, but I can't imagine someone would leave their companion splayed out on a crypt floor with their head having rolled away.
Really?
Face down, so disrespectfully.
You don't know the criminal element that well, then, do you?
Well, if they were criminals, they surely would have taken the gold coins, no?
Perhaps they were in a panic.
Perhaps they were wondering if there was another trap.
I think the rest of your rest week will pass uneventfully, and we're going to take our break, and when we come back from our break, you guys get to go grave exploring?
Yay!
Yay! Happy Thanksgiving!
We're gonna get decapitated.
See you guys on the other side of our break.
It's all right. Remember Indiana Jones.